Heiße Fahrt is the lone roller coaster at Wild-und Freizeitpark Klotten in Germany, but it may be one of the country's most underrated roller coasters. This Gerstlauer Bobsled is basically a wild mouse coaster on steroids. I expected it to be fun, but it surpassed those expectations, so in this video I will be reviewing Heiße Fahrt. Wild-und Freizeitpark Klotten opened in 1970 exclusively as an animal park and zoo. By 1996, the park decided to diversify their offerings with playgrounds and a small collection of rides. But their first major attraction didn't come until 2004 with Heiße Fahrt. This Gerstlauer Bobsled coaster had a very similar layout to the two others that came before it in Germany. The layout is darn similar to Belantis' Drachenritt and Tripsdrill's Jacente Sau. However, this one is a little bit taller, and it features an intense, high-speed series of S-bends in between the large helix and bunny hills. Heiße Fahrt has a weird history. The ride originally opened in 2004 with that name, which translates to hot ride. But for 2005, the coaster was renamed the Klotti Coaster, but then the park changed the name back to Heiße Fahrt from the 2006 season onwards. Even crazier is the story of this coaster's theming. It was always supposed to be themed. Heiße Fahrt was part of an ambitious expansion plan that was to include a flume ride integrated around the coaster, but in 2004, only the roller coaster opened. The two rides were originally supposed to be themed to a volcano, which may explain why Heiße Fahrt originally opened around an unfinished circular structure. But sometime later, the park decided to swap to a medieval theme. Zum Ritterstürz, which translates to For the Fall of the Night, opened in 2012. This ABC ride super flume had a short dark ride section at the start, and then a massive final plunge located above Heiße Fahrt's lift hill. However, the castle theming was still not finished when the flume opened. The theming wasn't actually finished until the Kuhneberts Abenteuer shooting dark ride opened in 2020. And the circular castle, while it has a funky shape, does look good. But back to Heiße Fahrt. The only other theming you'll find are some shields and murals in the station. There is no other theming to look at along the ride's course, but that's okay, because the ride is fairly well landscaped. I especially like the rock walls lined along the ride's course at points, and you also get these beautiful views of the mountains nearby. Like all the Gerstlauer bobsleds, this attraction features four-person cars that you can typically find in most wild mice coasters. Riders are restrained by simple, individual lap bars. Guests will lower their own restraints, and the operator will typically spot check them from the operating booth. That's something you'd never see at a US park. The operator will almost always check your restraint there. Because the operator didn't actually touch the restraints, this allowed the coaster to have lightning-fast dispatches. And despite visiting on a weekend, albeit a rainy one, Heiße Fahrt only had a 10 to 15 minute wait at worst. And from the others I know who have visited Klotten over the years, they've never encountered a bad wait for this coaster. Heiße Fahrt begins with a slow turn out of the station, and then a lift to the top of the castle. This brings you to the ride's highest point of 57.5 feet, or 17.5 meters. On the way up, you'll get your best view of the beautiful mountains nearby, because again, Klotten is located atop a hill. Once at the top of the lift, you have a short straightaway before twisting down and to the right. This drop offers some decent laterals, and then the subsequent turn, which loops around the castle, will offer weak positive Gs. You then rise up into a short series of hairpin turns. These are the only hairpin turns in the ride, but they're memorable. These turns are taken with some solid speed, so they deliver some powerful laterals, about on par with the best wild mice coasters out there. You then pass through a mid-course brake run that will not slow you down one bit, before navigating a 360-degree downwards helix. This fast and compact element delivers great positive Gs that will intensify throughout the element. I believe you exit this helix at the ride's maximum speed of 34 miles per hour, or 55 kilometers per hour, and then you fly over back-to-back speed hills. These low S hills feel completely out of place on a wild mouse coaster such as this, but they're easily the highlight of the ride. The first one offers some solid floater airtime, and the second one offers even slightly better airtime. You then twist into another brake run, getting some laterals along the way. And like the prior brake run, this one also will not slow you down. This makes the unbanked twisting drop off the brake run that follows quite wild. It delivers an itty bitty pop of airtime paired with some great laterals. Heiße Fahrt then zooms over 4 straight bunny hills. Each one gives some decent floater airtime, although each subsequent hill will decrease in strength ever so slightly. You then rise into yet another mid-course brake run, barely slowing down, so you get another quick jolt of laterals on the subsequent drop that has minimal banking. This is followed by a small 360-degree upwards helix. It's not particularly fast, so it only offers mild forces. Heiße Fahrt then dips into a tunnel, coasts around a mildly forceful turn, and then hops up into the brake run, and this ends the 1,745-foot or 532-meter long steel coaster. Because you aren't really slowed down in any of the brake runs, Heiße Fahrt has really good pacing for a Wild Mouse coaster. The finale is just okay, but the rest of the ride is a delightful mix of strong laterals and some nice airtime. And the ride is immaculately smooth too. That has never been an issue on any of the Gerstlauer Bobsleds I've ridden, so it was no surprise this ride also tracked well. So what would I rate Heiße Fahrt? I would give this Gerstlauer coaster an 8 out of 10. This is one of the best wild mice coasters in the world. The diverse layout has the short but obligatory section of hairpin turns, but I absolutely love the incorporation of solid helixes and a half dozen airtime hills. This is the best ride at Wild-und Friezeitpark Klotten without a doubt, and of the Gerstlauer Bobsleds I've ridden, this one has the strongest layout. I may prefer Van Helsing's Factory, but that's more because of the theming than the layout. The high-speed middle section and abundance of bunny hills on Heiße Fahrt make this one stand out from the pack. And of the wild mouse roller coaster I've ridden over the years, Heiße Fahrt is definitely near the top. I prefer the former Formula 1 coaster at Parc St. Paul in France for the insane ejector airtime it offered, and I go into detail on that in a separate review, but Heiße Fahrt is right behind it because of the well-rounded experience. So those are my thoughts on Heiße Fahrt, the well-rounded and exciting Gerstlauer Bobsled coaster at Wild-und Friezeitpark Klotten. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Do you agree it's one of the world's best wild mice coasters? I would love to hear what you think about this ride down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.